There it is. Back at it. What's going on, world? I'm back at it. You know, the work starts early and the work ends late. And before I left the house, I was like trying to think of something clever or whatever to put in the title. And I was like, this is all my mind is at this. Every time I walk out the house, all the brilliant ideas I have before I get to actually going on live, it doesn't always click right away. And because of that, I'm really just saying shit that's like on the top of my mind. So a lot of times, top of my mind, you'll get some generic saying type shit or just some, I don't know, some, I ain't gonna say corny, but like corny, cheesy kind of a saying or explanation or something. Like, that's the way I look at it, at least. You know. Nonetheless, man, I had to get started early. You know, I got a lot of time. Like, normally, matter of fact, I guess I had done this before. I go fuck. I go fuck. Like, I'm over here crossing the street, over here honking at me and shit. Like, I did something wrong. Take my fucking time doing that shit. Matter of fact, I don't know if I knew him. I don't know. That's what I'm saying, bro. If I'm crossing the street at a certain speed and you gotta wait to turn, why the fuck you honking? You know what I mean? That's some bullshit to me. People late to work, they gotta wake up early. I get it. That's on you. You know what I mean? That's going pretty good, pretty good. But yeah, it's really interesting, man. I've been thinking about this a lot, where it's like, I've been saying this for a while, but a lot of days like this, a lot of mornings like this, get going early. You know, it works within my how do I explain this? Within my power, especially like on a warm day, warm morning like this. Start off right, my window faces east, so sunshine coming through. It's real warm. I'm like, okay. Got the warmth coming in, getting the day right, getting the day started right. Might grab a coffee. I feel like I will. I'm saying that, but I know I will. And it's funny because the people that work there, they haven't seen me mic'd up in a while, so they're probably gonna be like, "Oh, he's back on live," and I'm like, "I've been doing them. I just ain't been doing them early." So it's been a minute since I hit the early joint. This is what it's like, man. That's what we're working with right now. Also, it's spring. It's springtime, smack in the middle of spring, so allergies is kicking me down right now. And yeah, every morning. But I sleep with my window cracked. I wonder if that's part of it. Allergies and pollen just flying around. You know what I mean? A little rough. Can't lie. So, yeah, man. Grab the coffee, post up, chop it up for a little bit, maybe like an hour or so. I'm gonna monitor the time slowly but surely, just get the day started. Got some, a couple of videos to upload. I might even have to upload a couple of songs. I got some tracks I got going. Finally got them, you know what I'm saying? Slightly compressed, slightly mixed and mastered. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you took the what? The sloppiest? Hey, man. That's TMI, but hopefully you cleaned up, man. Go take a shower. What's wrong with you? You gotta wash up. You know what's kind of funny is there's this lady on YouTube. I forgot her name. Actually, I don't know who. It might have been Susu JPEG. If it wasn't her, it was someone else. But she was saying, she said every time she takes a dump, she takes a shower. He's like, every single time? Oh yeah, every single time I take a dump, I take a shower. I was like, that's crazy. It's a lot of water though. Cause you imagine, like, you sit there, you take a dump, you gotta flush the toilet. That's already what, a gallon or so of water, or half a gallon or whatever. And then you just go ahead and wash up. That's crazy. Maybe she doesn't do all the soap. Maybe she just does like a quick rinse. But nonetheless, I was like, that's kind of crazy to me. You do clean up? You let it dry? Nah, man. Nah, you're nasty now. I don't know about that. I ain't even reading all that. Not out loud, at least. But yeah, that's how we working, right? In the working right now, early before things open up. Get started early. Get the legs moving. You know, I'm trying to remember what I have for breakfast, like some leftover steak or something. Leftover steak and onions. Threw it over some rice. Got the day right. So, right amount of protein, etc. You know, grab this coffee, post up, chop it up a bit. You know, I'm getting my hours in, man. Today feels like one of them days. You know, if I'm not so congested from this pollen and whatnot. Pollen. There's a bit of dust in my room too. I was moving some stuff around, so I don't know if that's part of it. But anyway, if I feel a little less congested or my energy feels good, you know, it's interesting. My energy kind of rebalances itself if I do like short fasts throughout the day. So if I do like quick, 6 to 12 hour fast throughout the days, the body starts regulating itself. Obviously, you want to hit the 24, if not the 72 hours. But we'll see, man. I might start it this week. I got to eat right beforehand. You know what I mean? Before everything happens, I got to make sure I'm eating right, doing right by myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Funny because I told these guys, I was like, I be hitting a lot of different coffee joints. This is the one right here. You're gonna talk to them about that appassionato. Get that going. Cup of that. See what's going on here. That's yeah. I think today's Monday. You know, it's kind of nice because on Fridays, the library or this specific one is closed, so it gives me time to do certain things. And you know, if I'm doing the math correctly, this coming Friday, it's gonna be real. What's it called? I'm gonna be busy, real productive, more or less. So be going out the city a little bit. Not too far. I'm going to Bellevue, but I'm just saying like the adventure out there is always the fun part. I just switched some times for my appointments and everything. But yeah, we good nonetheless. Cakey out there, you know. Yeah, last time I was there, I was supposed to have my last session, and I ended up buying like a whole bunch of sweets and grabbed like Americano. And I'm like, I don't need to be doing all this right now. You know what I mean? Let me see. How's it going? You know, you were reminding me. I'm gonna turn off the camera. I'm turning off the camera. Boom. It's still audio, but you're reminding me every morning. You're like, I haven't seen the mic, and I was like, I guess I got to do it in the mornings now. Oh, so yes, there we are. I'll do the. I shut it off though. I'll let you see it. So I'll shut off the camera. But yeah, just want to make sure. Isn't it always facing you? Yeah, but see, like here, I'll show you real quick. I turn it off. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. So when I go in certain places, I'll try to make sure. Yeah. I'll do the same. Americano, please. Hot or ice? I'll do hot. Ice, for sure. If you figured out ice, I'm gonna try ice. Okay. I want to see that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's a vendor that comes in and help you figure it out. He's the owner coffee shop. Yeah. I was okay with the one you made. I wasn't. Oh, you didn't? Okay. Gotcha. Sure. Right, right. What's the secret? Or I guess you don't have to tell me, but. So before I used to do Americano, and so Americano is half hot water and half hot. Oh, okay. Double shot. So he said just do double shot and then just add room temperature water to it. Interesting. Okay. I was like, oh. So it's a regular double shot coffee. Yeah. Interesting. So you just add it because what happens is the ice just melts when everything is hot. Makes sense. Yeah. But it's a balance between the two. Okay. Yeah. How's your weekend? I'm trying to think. It wasn't too bad. I went to a friend's. It was his daughter's birthday. Oh, nice. And she turned 1, so it was nice. Like a dog's birthday. Daughter. Yeah, yeah. No, some people do that too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Cool. No, well, it's slow in the morning. It gets a little slow. Sometimes it builds up. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm usually around like a good 3 to 5 normal people, and then every now and again it goes up and down. Yeah. So I'm slowly trying to get there. Let me know. Yeah. It's mainly gaming. Like if I'm doing live streams, it's mainly I'm sorry. Yeah. Sometimes I do live streams where it's like there's actual gameplay, and then usually if I'm walking around, I just talk to whoever's in the chat. So yeah, kind of open ended. Yeah. I was saying this to someone. I'm actually the same way. Where, but I thought about it, I was like, if this is gonna get me, if this is gonna get me the numbers though, I got to do it. So I don't want to say I'm forcing it, but kind of forcing it. That makes sense. Something. Oh, I'm good with no straw. Thank you though. Yeah, some people like the normal people, normal subscribers, but I kind of just go whenever I want. So I don't have a set schedule. Maybe I should have a schedule. Probably easier for people. Right. Yeah. I gotta look into that a little more, but we'll see. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. You too. Sir. Oh, there we go. It's bright today, man. Miles Dominic, my bad. Miles Dominic Centeno. Appreciate you dropping in. Appreciate you saying hi. Appreciate you dropping in. I do my little normal everyday morning walk. I want to respect my guy. Excuse me, I respect my guy Daniel because he works there, he owns it, and he was like, I was like, "Do you want to be on the camera?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good." So then that's ever since then I just been blacking out the camera when I walk inside my spot. So, but that's the spot right there, man. Good people all the time, always checking with me, kind of keep me on my toes. They don't just hit me with the regular hello, good mornings. It's more of like how are you doing? Hey, I remember you said this last time, and I'm like, oh, you guys, it's for me, it's rare. Like living here, it's rare that people actually pay attention to the details of. So it lets me know there's a bit of love and care there. You know what I'm saying? People pay attention to the details of myself. Shit, sometimes I wake up and just go. I be forgetting details. I've been running into a lot of people over time lately, and they'll bring up memories from middle school, high school, and I'm like, bro, I forgot about this. So it happens a lot, bro. You be living life a lot, and enough times you start realizing like this is what's been happening all the time. Because the thing is, even when I'm doing these live streams, I consider it, work that ain't working, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Some like a effortless type of work. And even in the midst of doing all this, sometimes I run into characters here and there. I run into situations here and there that are, you know, memorable or not. But we'll see. She had a point though about the schedule. We're talking about the schedule stuff. I do have schedules for certain videos coming out. You know what I mean? And like the thing about that, let's go. The thing about that is like it's more for people looking for the actual video. So when I switched the whole schedule for whether it was Beyblade stuff or like vlogging things and uh, certain video game content, like whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Warrior. Oh, we're chilling, man. Hold on, man. I said chilling. He was tripping. Car was not looking for. He inched out, almost hit the dude. That was crazy. But shit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's I have certain stuff on set schedules, I should say. You know, so I'm doing good. I don't know. I should have grabbed the hot coffee, but it's all right. She was telling me that she thinks she mastered the cold coffee. What do you call this? The concoction for it, the solution for it, if you will. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Should I face the sun? I shouldn't do that because then you're facing gonna face it the other way. I got you. Oh no. All right, we'll do this. Prop it like that. Keep it simple. That way I'm facing the sun. Shadows right here. All that. Everything's in the shot. Kept the mic on in the morning. You know, straight like that every time. That's the thing with all the sunlight. I do gotta hit the piss too. That's what makes me sad. Damn it. Last time I was here, I had to do that shit, man. Yo, I'm gonna monitor my shit, alright? I wanna do this, bro. Families there walking too. Shit, I'm gonna do it. If I feel the need to do it, I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, man. This is where one of them days, man. Get the morning started right, man. Let's get the thoughts flowing. Let's get things going for a second, real quick, man. Get things flowing for a second. Let's think about this, man. Let's think about this, man. The consistency is the key, man. Consistency is the key to all this, man. I come to find out. You know, when I was sitting there doing from episodes pretty much 10, from like episode 10 all the way up to about episode, I don't know, 90 something, 80 something, 90 something. And Cash was a witness to this. Cash was there when we had 50 people in the chat, just ha 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 ha. Now there was a weird kind of a gap in time. You know, it was like a 3-4 day gap in time. So that's why I had to make the suggestion myself, like maybe I'll do a 3-4 day gap between lives. You know, at least the ones that pertain to this, things that are related to this. Who knows? But other than that, I was like, man, if I'm not doing that, you know, I'm gonna I gotta keep doing work in the background. So it's almost like I took a week off, about a couple of days to a week off, and within that time period, I was kind of just taking care of myself as much as like doing as much content as I could possibly do. Now the thing is, imagine this: if I have the videos scheduled out right, if I did one video a day, it would secure what I need to do per day per schedule. But I realized if I'm able to knock out 3 to 4 hours worth of work, that's at least half a day's worth of work, you know, minus the pay. But here's the thing, that also sets up 3 to 4 days of work in the long run. So that kind of worked out for me. So everything started to work out and compound, and I started thinking like, okay, if I do that, and in between the notes, I'm sitting here hitting the live streams, you know, in between whatever, like when I'm actually sitting there doing the uploads and whatnot, turn on the Monster Hunter, get that going in the background, get that flowing, type up what I need to type, do quick reviews, make sure the video is concise, precise, whatever. Put that up there, load it up. You know what I'm saying? As I'm doing, so like I'm just doing, you know, two things at once, knocking out two things at once, doing the best that I can. So what I'm realizing is like, you know, a lot of my efforts, and this is, you know, people checking in, tapping in now. I want you to recognize like the amount of effort you put in now translates in the future sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like you got to remember the pretty much the games that I'm playing now. These are games that I played when I was younger, or like when I was, you know, whatever age. The thing is, me replaying them, me tapping back into them, like I'm sitting there trying to get them into a library of content, as well as like when I get monetized, hopefully it becomes a thing that's recognized for what it is. So I'm trying to knock out as many steps as possible at the same time. So you see me like covering ground, like this is all the Pokemon games from that you can play on a Game Boy Player, anything from blue to gold. Right, you know, the generation 1, 2, and 3, pretty much all those from the Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance games. All those are put out there. Then we got other platforms right now. We got PS2 stuff coming out. So it's like all this is happening mixed in with, you know, also on a digital footprint level, just tapping in with doing the lives as much as possible. So that's what you're gonna see a lot from me, man. Every day you're gonna see something come out from the channel. If it's not at 8 o'clock, it's gonna be at 12:30. If it's not at 12:30, it's gonna be at 5. And if it's not at 5, it's gonna be at 9:30. And if it's not in any of those time frames, it'll be closer to 3 a.m. And if it's not at 3 a.m., you're gonna see me on live either way. So you're gonna see me do some lives, man. And I'm gonna do, you know, probably tonight if I have time. Like if it's warm enough, I might just have to put on more of the gear. You're gonna see me outside doing probably a Kill Tony recap, a Monday recap. So I'll keep y'all up to date on that, man. You know, I'll keep that keep you guys posted, man. And it's like, you know, when you're on the internet, you like seeing the presence that's being made and the low key whatever. You know what I mean? There's a couple channels that I used to I think I used to follow them, but I used to like more or less just like keep them in rotation. The interesting part about it was some of them are very, I don't want to say lo-fi, but like low maintenance or whatever. Like there's some people where they're just like, hey, we just posted a video. Hey, check this out. This is what we're about. Hey, this is me watching my dad react to my music or like the music that I'm into. You know, things like that. You know what I mean? So that's one thing to look at it. Yeah, I'm looking at my shape, bro. I'm over here like, damn, what the fuck? Gotta get back to it type shit. Ah, you know what I mean? Get my shit right. Probably gonna hit some reps tonight during the whole set or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's get it moving like that, get it cracking like that. Things or whatever, man. Actually, I want to address Scully25. Shout out to my guy Scully25. He commented on one of my lives that I, came out later, and he said something like, he said, unless you're Native American, you shouldn't worry about gentrification. He said, doesn't this excludes black and brown people because you guys aren't Native Americans? And I was like, that's fair enough, but part of the point that I was trying to make in that video, and actually, I want to make this clear. I appreciate what he was saying because he's I'm just saying he because I don't actually know, but he's actually correct. He's actually very accurate because it doesn't matter what race you are. A lot of people don't care about the natives. Unfortunately, man, it's fucked up. Like then people be sitting around a lot of times. Like I'll be chopping up with dudes from different tribes, but and they be homeless sometimes. Some people just be actually on the res. So I don't know if they ever seen. I would love to let Scully know. If Scully25 ever sees this video, hey, check out. I did a video where I was down in Muckleshoot. I was in Muckleshoot, Washington, and every time I catch the buses from the station all the way to the Muckleshoot Library, I always give praises to the land that I'm on because every time I'm on the buses, the kids are there, Native American children are there, and the teenagers and stuff, and I mean they be it is, man. It's different because they live a different type of lifestyle. Like you'll see them like rocking all type of crazy shit. Like it'd be like I don't know if it's bootleg. Sometimes I can't tell you if it's bootleg or not, but they be having different type of clothes like Gucci and all this like designer shit. And these motherfuckers just be out there flexing and like they're on point. But even though they're on point, every time they see me and they talk to me, they're always like on some please and thank you sir kind of stuff. And I'm like, yo, these kids are really respectful, but again, they live on the reservation, so it's sad because it's like, damn, they got all these manners, but they live in some of the most forgotten areas, some of those most forgotten pockets on their own land. You know what I'm saying? They're on their own land. So um, I want to acknowledge what he was saying. Scully25, shout out to you. Appreciate you, bro, for making it clear because he's absolutely right, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for us to be complaining about gentrification. I think what I was personally trying to address was just the fact that, like, if you black, what I was saying is if you're black and brown in a gentrified area, sometimes you get treated or mistreated a certain way. Sometimes there is a level of police harassment. And like for me, I've just noticed that every time I throw on the university hoodies or like the college hoodies or the crew necks, university and college crew necks and hoodies and shit, whenever I throw those on, I just get dealt with a little differently. Like people from my own neighborhood, people that I kind of grew up with, or they grew up seeing me all the time, they start seeing me in something that looks like a prestigious kind of a thing. And when they see that, they kind of start talking to me differently. Like, hey, you went to that school? And they just start opening a conversation. So it's kind of really interesting. And like, same thing, man. Like, police started harassing me less. They started following me homeless. It was like weird shit. And I was just like, damn, I guess I just look like a university kid. But nonetheless, it was a weird interaction and predicament. What's going on, Syrian? Syrian the Brave, keep going, brother. Don't give up on this YouTube stuff. Hey, Syrian the Brave, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for dropping in and keeping in contact with me. I'm gonna try to do as many. If I'm not doing the lives, I'm gonna keep on doing as many videos as possible. I got the 2.1K right now. We're trying to slowly get to 2.2. One step at a time, right? So I'm at a very normal pace that'll get me to 2.2K videos released, and then hopefully I'll get to 3K at some point. But we're doing it slowly right now, so we'll do 100 videos at a time, right? 100 videos at a time. I think like if I'm doing the math correctly, on average, I have about 3 videos releasing, anywhere from 2 to 3 videos releasing per day. So it's like if let's say the average is 30 days in the month, that's anywhere between 60 to 90 videos on average being released, and that's not to account for the amount of times I'm planning to do a Kill Tony recap. So we'll see how that turns out, and if it's not that, then I'm also going to do as many live streams as possible. But the thing is, if you're catching this live stream now, I want to make it clear, like, if you're here in the now, it's a good time to be here, but understand that these will eventually come out in the future. So for those that are here from the playback again, understand you got to check the date in the title. The date in the title is going to let you know when the video was actually live streamed. And then I'm just putting those out on a schedule as well. So that's going to be part of my scheduling as well. So um, I just got so many different videos and ideas and thoughts and whatnot that's going to start happening. But I appreciate everyone checking in. Like, I like how a lot of people have been, a lot of people I'm not used to seeing will show up and just show love and be like, hey, man, I like that you're still working hard. I like that you're still doing what you do. So I'm like, oh, people are paying attention even when they're not making themselves known, because I got like 900 subs, 900 subscribers. And it's like, only very few amounts show up in the live. So if we do the math correctly, I'm averaging anywhere between 1 to 3. I think I told the lady like 3 to 5, because some days it is like 3 to 5. But I've been having some days where like there's normally like 3 people just in the chat, but sometimes they don't even say nothing. They're just hanging out, which is nice. Anyone coming to hang out, I appreciate it. Hold on, let me clean my screen for a quick second. My bad. I didn't mean to breathe on the screen and the camera like that. But yeah, it's really interesting because it's really interesting because um, what am I trying to say, bro? It's like on me, I gotta blow my nose, bro. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because oh, give me a second. If we're doing the math correctly, and I'm not, I'm thinking about this in both from both the left brain and the right brain perspective. So it's tough because on one end, I want things to flow naturally, but on the other hand, I should look at things logistically. But I have to look at things from both ends. I have to look at like, what does the spirit or what does the heart say today? The spirit and the heart says today, man, get on live, man, get outside, tap in with some sunlight, tap in with some fresh air. This is as good as the weather's gonna get for a while. You know what I'm saying? We got this looking like this from June, July, August, and then towards the end of September. So it's gonna be real, hot and warm and crispy. You know what I'm saying, in the sky and whatnot. So because I'm very mindful and cognizant of these things, you know, because I'm very mindful and cognizant of these things, I have to take advantage of the time period. So you're gonna see a lot of live streams. You just sit there and it'll happen throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? When I'm finished at the library, I'm gonna try to muster up some energy, utilize that energy. Might even utilize the caffeine that I've consumed. And then if I'm not using that, I'm gonna, just go outside and then like everything in between the hours. So within the actual hours of sitting down at the library, if I'm not there, excuse me, while I'm there, I will be utilizing the time to go on live as much as I upload the actual other content. So like I said, 2 birds with one stone every time, 3 birds with one stone, minimizing the steps, you know what I mean? And a lot of this comes from a Jeet Kune Do philosophy as well. So the Jeet Kune Do philosophy is to like attack and defend at the same time. You're spending so much time doing defense and deflecting, you're killing time throughout the fight where you could just end the battle, you can end the war. But sometimes you got to be careful who you're teaching this to, because people who just stay on the offense, they're not really used to the risk. You know what I mean? So that's the other thing that was kind of left out on the teachings, is like, yeah, Bruce Lee comes from a place of like securing yourself. The martial arts that he learned was securing yourself, defending and like deflecting, parrying, and all that stuff, and making sure your defenses are correct. But he had to go through that to master the offense in the long run. A lot of people can't really do either or, but his philosophy was kind of, I don't want to say like buried with him, but he was not around to really continue it. So we're a lot of people who still exercise Jeet Kune Do. My particular martial arts people, I haven't trained with them in a while, so I can't really claim it, but I will like shout them out because they did teach me some things that I still carry with me. Um, and yeah, man, it's like, we're just kind of we're trying to pick up where he left off and like mix a little bit of what we know now and what we're experiencing in the now. So that's what it's looking like. But yeah, man, I'll for real be right back though. I blow my nose too. Still fucked up. It's fucked up because I gotta piss really bad. So I'm about to walk to the other park. I was gonna piss over here, but I'm like, damn, you know what? Last time I realized that was somebody's yard. It's connected to the park, but still. So I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna keep walking for a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I realized inbred dragon. I wonder if that dude is like either related to Alex Tarshoon somehow. And if it's not related to Alex Tarshoon, I wonder if he's just piggybacking as well off of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? That happened. I just thought about that. Just looking at his name. I'm just going based off of the name. I just thought about that. Looking at this dude's name, I was like, yeah, what if that was him? That might have been him, bro. So probably some pages pretending to be like people now, which sucks. But yeah, man, shout out to Alex Tarshoon, bro. You know, I think last time his friend was telling me, I think it was his name Drew. He was kind of telling me something about he was going through some stuff, so he wasn't able to show up on Monday. Hopefully, they're going to show more of them this week. And like I said, what you see this week is what happened 2 weeks ago, which is interesting. So it's an interesting time thing. You know what I mean? It's a really interesting thing. Predicament, whatever. But I really got to hit this bathroom. I'm sad about that, but I got to do what I got to do. Work starts early and the work ends late, bruh. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Do it for free and watch you pay in the long run, man. 10,000 hours compounded. You know, you got to remember, I did the Truancy Hour as an audio a long time ago, audio podcast. I had 100 some videos that I mean 100 some recordings of that, all within hours, all within half hours, all different concepts, all new. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, new formats, all that. Had that playing, had that going in the background while I'm getting stuff done, getting myself situated. Shit, 100 times an hour, that's like 100 hours already. So then now we do, hey, now we do like another, now this is another 100. Now we do like another 15 minutes, 15 minutes at a time, 30 minutes. And then if I'm not doing that, I got to do like you know, I got to do it right. Got to do things right, man. I'm trying to think how many hours that is. That also isn't to count for the, like the amount of videos that were not, or I shouldn't say not completed. They were completed, but just never like, some of them are uploaded on schedule. And then the other ones are like, how do I explain this? Like, they were deleted. So they didn't, for me, it didn't count. Like I'm just not counting them. So there's different numbers, but I can't even do the math of like how many hours that is. You know, I don't even know if I'm at like if I'm doing the math right. I don't even know if I'm at 1,000. Ooh, probably close, man. Probably close. Yeah, but that's how you stay locked in for like, if you think about if you did the math, if you were to do like 1 hour's worth of something a day, that's only 365 hours. Now, if you double that to two, what are we looking at? Two. I mean, my bad. 730. 730, I should say. So anything that you put 2 to 3 hours in a day, you know what I mean, or more. So that's why you got to shoot for 3 to 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. You know what I mean? That's what the channel consists of. You get 1,000 at least, 1,000 minimum. You know what I'm saying? And after that 1,000 minimum, if you said you did it for 10 years, you can really say you're getting there. But a lot of people start channels and a lot of people start pages or a lot of people start sports too, and they'll give up right away. You got to put them hours in. You got to remember what it looked like. You're doing it every day. This is what it looked like. This is what it sounded like. You feel me? I'll put my camera right here, man. Monitor anybody running up. Be right back. Oh yeah. So, yeah, man. So I got 40 minutes. Maybe 4, 5, 6. So I got 40 minutes, man. We good on time. I'm gonna spend the 40. I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna circle it around a bit. Got 40 minutes. But everything's good right now. Like I said, I might here, let me show you. These courts right here, man. You know, I used to ball up here a little bit. Not really. Like I'm not pretending to be like I'm a hooper, but you know, sometimes I come up here, shoot around. You know what I mean? Play horse. Easiest thing to do is play horse, man. Easiest thing to do is play horse. What am I hearing? I thought I was hearing somebody. So that's the thing. Here, I'll keep it flipped. Anybody trying to look at me, trying to hear me, but you ain't trying to see me. I get it. But yeah, man, we chilling right now. Can't even complain. You know, I got the time, effort, and privilege to really do this and make this happen. So who am I to complain? I mean, I'd be me. I'd be human, right? But who am I, bro? You know, I see this all the time where like you gotta certain individuals. Abascon, what's going on, man? Am I saying that right? Abascon? Abascon. Let me know if I'm saying that correctly, man. I'm walking through right now. Just mobbing through, man. My birds at my crows, what's up? I got no snacks with me. I got no snacks on me. Abascon, bro. What's going on? I mean, if you're still hanging out, chilling. I appreciate you dropping in. They got a baby bird nearby. What's going on? Talk to me. What's good? Y'all hear the birds? Hey, I'm gonna follow them. I'm gonna follow them. They going across the street for what? Show me, show me. Yo. Are they just going around from house to house? Oh yeah, that's what y'all doing? Okay, hold on. Let me check it out. I'll check it out. The birds. Yeah, they're telling me they're sending me somewhere. Let me go see what's going on here. I'm on my Hashira game right now. You know, gotta talk to these birds. Lightning Hashira right here today. What happened? What happened? What happened? Somebody fall down? If I see them, I'm gonna talk to them for you. I don't see anyone right now, okay? You see the bird? My bad. What happened? I'm chopping up with a bird right there. They're starting to fly in. I'm trying to look around. You know, sometimes you'll see a baby or like a baby or like a another bird just laying on the ground in the grass somewhere. So hopefully nobody got hurt. It looked like there's no one here doing construction at the house. I kind of want to walk around and see. Show me where. Yo. I don't want to just like randomly walk up on this, but I'll talk to the people if I see them. See this man. I don't know, man. You guys in there? I don't want to just walk in. Someone might be on the side. Hold on. I'll talk to them for you. Let me switch it around. Let's go. We're working on the whole thing. I don't know. Hey, excuse me. Is anyone working on that side? Oh, yeah, on the other side? Oh, okay. Can you look out for any baby birds or anything? Baby birds. Yeah, there's like the birds are just having a thing right now. So I didn't know if they're looking for their baby or something. Yeah, just let me know though. All right, man. I wonder what's going on. It might have been a nest issue, like a bird nest issue. I'll be on the lookout for that. Yeah, the birds over here aren't tripping right now. So it was just on that side of the park. So either they were speaking to me specifically or something else. I'll tell you what, though, I'll circle around and I'll double back to the park. So if I circle around it and then we'll see. I don't know. It's a day in the life, man. I got time today to do this. Like I said, I can afford to do this right now. So that's why I'm grateful. That's what you see me doing. Positive shit, giving a fuck about nature and keeping it positive. Because why wouldn't I be? See, sometimes, and this is, I'm gonna say this is right or wrong. Sometimes certain people's bitterness comes from the fact that they're the most responsible person currently. If that makes sense. Let me zoom out. Why am I zoomed in? So because I'm not really in that position, I feel the need to be that way. Sometimes I have my own personal human frustrations. Let's be honest. But for the most part, I'm good, bro. You know, I got family that love me, family I can fall back on. I recognize it, and I'm grateful for it. You know what I mean? That says, that's a lot more than a lot of people can say for themselves. So for me, I have nothing but gratitude for my position. And that's the fucked up part, man. I've been trying my best. I fall short a lot, and I'm like, damn. Each time I'm like always becoming a better person, human being, a better skillful person. A more whatever, more skillful individual, more refined person or whatever, however you want to look at it. But nonetheless, it's taxing sometimes because it's like, damn, where are the rewards I'm supposed to reap? But when I take a deeper, further reflection on myself, I'm like, well, what are the opportunities that I let pass by? So I'm very cognizant of those things too. So I take accountability for all of my mishaps and my shortcomings. If that makes sense. That's just me. So I got to get things right. But like I said, at this age, I can do nothing but be grateful. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to prove to no one. People want to ask these questions about why aren't you this? Why am I not that? Why don't I have this going on? Why is this happening for you? What's all this whoopty wop? And I'm like, I might say it right now. It depends where the conversation goes, but I might say it right now. But realistically, bro, I never played a card of you know living situation, etc. Or who was I was taken care of, or the community I decided to prioritize over personal gain. You understand? That was a big thing for me. It was like being a community type person and prioritizing that. And the thing about that time period is that the people within my organization, the people within my community, they and I'm not trying to gas myself. I'm just being honest. They valued me so much that they were always giving me rides. And obviously, at some point, I'm just like, I don't want to say prideful, but I'm like, hey man, I can get places by myself. But they're like, hey, but if we need you for community stuff and we need you to get there in 15 minutes opposed to 2 hours, we need to be able to be in contact with you, or we need to be able to transfer you around. I'm like, that's fair. But a lot of times push comes to shove, and I need to be where I need to be. Like I said, all these setbacks, I stay home, and like I said, I don't want to look at it as this is something that set me backwards. Like realistically, it's something that you know, it's just what I had to go through. Because there's plenty of times I could have went and bought a car. Plenty of times I could have went and got my own apartment. But then it's just when it comes to things lining up sometimes, realistically, imagine if I took the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? The opportunities right in front of me, I took advantage of it. My mental wouldn't be there. So I'd be someone living in a house, or not, excuse me, not a house, but an apartment by myself, real happy. But then at the same time, just like living as a crash out. So again, it's like back to what I was saying with the frustrations of the people who are like the most responsible and stuff like that. How's it going? Morning. So the people who are the most responsible and like like for example, my dad and the other elders in my family, it's like people like that, they have a lot of reason to be frustrated because I understand early they decided to become parents. Early they decided to be people that either lived on their own or made sure they worked and fed those kids. So it's a lot of respect for them, simply because of that and recognizing their frustration. I just, for whatever reason, I'm not gonna say I was kept away from it. I always try to take control of a good thing, like back when I had a lot of time as a teenager or middle schooler, teenager, whatever. All I did spending that time doing was boxing and trying to become this professional athlete, so that way I can provide for people money wise. Because all I knew about was money. You understand? I didn't understand the other aspects of being a decent. I don't say like being a decent person, but like being a decently responsible human being. You know what I mean? Like someone who knows how to like clean the house and do woodwork and what I'm saying, like things like that. I didn't know how to do all that. It was about to be hella. It's about to smell like grass. It's gonna be strong. Ooh, but like, so these are all things that I recognize over time. So in the time periods that they were happening, I didn't know. So I can confirm my own ignorance in those you know in those situations. My personal ignorance in those situations. But I also will say like, damn, my bad. I'm like trying to fight off a sneeze. Like I said, I knew the grass was gonna get to me. Oh, fighting off a sneeze, bro. All right, here we go. Here we go. Then we're good. Um, my soccer ball. I don't know if that's a school's. So I say that to say like when I talk to other people who are constantly making the sacrifice, for themselves to do for others. Here, I found the hold on. I found the thing again. Is it a Volkswagen? That I love this car, bro. I need to know who owns this because I love this car right here. Birds is back. What's going on with you? Talk to me. Talk to me. I need to know who owns this Volkswagen, bro. Because I need to just say, bro, I need to shake your hand because something about that car is really nice to me. I don't know if that's electric. Is this electric? It might be electric. Hold on. I just really like this car. I don't even drive. So yeah. But again, like I'm not blaming no one but myself, but I have to take into account all of the all of the factors at play where I'm like, the amount of sacrifice I chose for myself. You know what I mean? The amount of sacrifice I chose personally, where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be present for. Let me flip it. My bad. I'm gonna choose to be present for family at this time period. I'm gonna choose to be present within community at this time period, and until I come across revelations or I come across certain things that would, you know, permit me to do something else for myself or look out for something else. Like if I have those, until I have those realizations and until they're heavy enough for me to make that decision, I'm just gonna be where I'm at. And what I was saying was I thought about this because I'm not playing the blame game when I say this. I'm actually telling you where I learned this from. Um, and this is actually a very, to me, it's a very honorable thing, regardless of how you want to look at it. I remember, so we were moving in 2006. Now I remember as a kid, I would always go to my grandpa's room, and like in my grandpa's room, it was always, I don't know how to explain it. It was dusty in certain spots and corners of the room because it was just a lot of stuff stacked on top of a lot of, like, one thing stacked on top of another. But I don't know, man. Like I started having a brain fart right now because I really just thought about something that really is emotional and tragic. But anyway, I used to go in his room as a kid, and it smelled really nice. I don't know what it is. It just, it's something about it. It smelled refreshing. And he would just be in there smiling like, "This is my room," and I would just walk around. I'll get lost in it. They would tell me to get out because they thought I was gonna break something or throw something around again. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a kind of a destructive little kid. But I remember the being in that room, and then I remember getting older and having to help him move stuff. And yeah, man, it's a trip. It's like I remember having to like make the decision for him, like, Lulu, like, we don't, if we don't need this, we're gonna donate it, okay? If we don't need this, we're gonna throw it away because we just needed to move fast. And I seen everyone coming to visit us at our house and help us move shit, and they took the initiative, so we got up off our ass and took the initiative. But you know, it's a trip, man. I really think about it. Made me really think about my household, and I was like, yo, these people really been dealing with emotional distress for the longest. Never did they ever think to go through anything that would help them out. Annie Ride, what's going on, Ann Ride? Appreciate you dropping in. What's up with you? I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to get some good weather in, fresh air, whatnot. Talking about family right now a little bit, but yeah, it really breaks my heart to think about you know, what they went. You know, I think about this a lot because it really wasn't my fault. But you know, the year I was born, a couple months before that, they had to deal with they had to deal with my grandma passing away. So I never got a chance to meet my grandma. So I was born into a household that was grieving heavy. You know what I mean? So when I really take an account of like everything we've learned now about whether that be mental health and like, especially, you know, some immigrant type of stuff. You like the greens? It's very lush and green over here. It's beautiful, right? So much pollen though. There's so much pollen, so I've been sneezing a lot. I've been fighting back a couple sneezes. I ain't gonna lie. I'm over here trying to fight back the sneezes. I'm like, damn, I'm getting congested. Shit, in the morning because I got my window cracked. I get a little congested a little bit, you know. But it is what it is. It's beautiful. It's fresh air. I'll take it for what it is. You like the bike? Did I pass up the bike? Oh, it's a Lime bike. That's a Lime bike. So it's like one of the ones, like, if you have the app, you could just, like, you know, buy it or rent it or whatever. But yeah, it's really interesting, man. So that's the environment I was born into, and those frustrations and the things that they're used to, they they come out in the worst way. They come in the worst way possible. And I just happen to be a victim of all of it, unfortunately. And then at the time period, I didn't really think about it that way. I just thought that was normal. You know, you talk to other people in different households and around the neighborhood. To them, it's normal too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, you know, the punishments and the ass whoopings. That shit's normal. There's nothing to really trip about. But when I really take into account the the specific stuff that I was undergoing, I'm like, you know what, man? A lot of that other shit wasn't normal. Like, I say this all the time. I say this for people that beautiful neighborhood. Yeah, it's a nice neighborhood up here. It's nice up here. Um, what was I gonna say? I say this all the time, man. People go through my bad, not people, but specific people will go through something that they think is normal, and then it ends up not being that way. So I don't know. I'll speak about it more next time, but I say all this to say, like, trying to bring a full circle. My grandpa, I realized he made a lot of the ultimate sacrifices because the house that we grew up in, as great as it is to have such a nice spacious house, he didn't technically own it. It was owned by I say this all the time, by his sister who lived next door. So his older sister. And knowing my like, and I don't know the specifics in the situation because my grandpa was actually, he was more intertwined and locked in with, you know, meeting all of, my great grandpa, his dad, and then all of the uncles and all the other elders that I never got a chance to meet that were generations before me. The first people to really come to this country, you know what I'm saying? So this is like early 1930s type shit. So he got a chance to come to the Americas and meet them, finally meet up with them and chop it up with them, you know what I'm saying, and really get the gist of what it's looking like and what it's going to be like living here. And everyone would work together, put their money together, and I'm pretty sure they all spent their money together to buy that house. You understand? I'm pretty sure, like, there's some people that they work certain jobs and they work under certain people, so there's connections and stuff. But that specific house, there was two of them. There was a brown house and a red one. We lived in the brown one, and my cousins lived in the red one. And my grandpa lived in the brown one, which is where we were. And the red one had what's going on with you? How you doing? How you doing, man? I got no snacks for you today, man. I got no snacks for you. Come back though. Come back though. Got no snacks for him. But I say this, I'm not. It's no blame game. It's no whatever. But I'm just trying to say, like, it's kind of crazy to think about that all those elders and forefathers or whatever, I don't know if that's the right word, put their money together to buy this house at this specific location. They got two of them. They acquired two of them. I'm not sure if one of them was already there. They built it, and the other one might have been built. I'm sorry, the one was already there because the nuns and the sisters of Providence were utilizing it, and then for whatever reason it went on sale, and my family acquired it pretty much. So there's like this extended family side where, like, they ended up becoming family. But nonetheless, knowing my grandpa, he's the type of person that, like, he's like, I just know him personally really well, because when he spoke, I listened. Hold on, man, let me flip this camera. So when he spoke, I listened. And what I got from him was that he's always the guy to make the ultimate sacrifice. So he's probably in the mental state of, like, I don't even want to be in charge of owning this. I'm gonna let my sister have it. That's my older sister. I love her. I'm gonna let her have it. And she's in charge of all this. So when the houses are being sold, we get nothing from it. But it's really interesting because my grandpa's also the type of person to maintain the whole house. He's the type of person to do all of the yard work, go into the garden, do garden work, mow the lawn. And he's paralyzed on one side. He's still trying to mow the lawn by himself. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of person to put in a lot of work and effort and a lot of labor into the houses when the things need to get repaired, if certain play structures need to get built, you know what I'm saying? And just whatever. But it's like, you know what I mean? Whatever maintenance needs to be done, he's going to and from. He's helping people out. He's working on things here and there. He's got one arm. He's just helping people out. He's very stubborn, but he's not selfish, if that makes sense. He's very stubborn. Like, no, if I tell you I'm here to help, I'm here to help. He's one of those. And he's always willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. He's just one of those, like, I say this all the time because me and my brother would try to help him. Like, hey, Lulu, like, you have one side paralyzed. Let us mow the lawn. Just tell us what to do. Tell us how to pull the lawnmower thing, and then we'll mow the lines. And no, don't worry about it. And he would just kind of shove us off. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Nah, get out of here. You're good. Don't worry about it. So then sometimes when we're in the basement, he'd be like, okay, pull it. All right, see how it's working out? Okay, good. And then he would just push it out by himself and start mowing by himself. But that was all he would make us do, was pull the fucking thing. So he used to fuck with me a bit because I had to learn how to do yard work from other people. I'd have to go to other people's houses, and they'd be like, "You don't know?" He's like, "Your parents don't make you do yard work." I was like, "They never make us want to. They never let us want to do it. I don't know what that is." So I started learning it from other people, and then my coaches even taught me, like, specific, like, bush trimming stuff. So I started learning, like, a bit of, like, just specific yard kind of things. Anyway, as I'm saying this, I remember my brother and my cousin. I guess they were sitting at the bar together, kind of chopping it up at one of my cousin's birthday parties. And so both of them were just hanging out talking. and my brother's getting emotional a bit talking about my grandpa to my cousin, and then my cousin kind of looks at him and was like, I think the reason why he didn't want you guys to do that a lot of that yard work and that labor is because he just expected you guys to go to school and be something. Like he didn't know how things worked here in terms of education and people's passions for wanting to do things outside of like whatever. Because like the thing is, me and my brother, we're built for physical labor in the sense that like we love going to boxing gyms. You know what I'm saying? We love going to the gym, so we love putting in physical work. So like for us to do like yard work would have been the same thing for us. It would have been like training. Like, oh, we just gotta squat low, stay in your stance, and just do some weeding. You know what I'm saying? Take some stuff out. You know what I mean? That's like yard work to me. I treated it like training. I remember like helping my coach with some yard work. That was some training for me. That was just physical training. I was just getting in shape doing that. But my whole thing was like, excuse me, my cousin's whole thing was telling my brother like, yeah, I think he just didn't want you guys to do that shit. He just expected you guys to be scholars or something. Like he didn't understand the school system here, so he didn't know that sometimes it's for you and sometimes it's not. Because pretty much all my cousins graduated high school. Some of them did a couple college courses here and there. Some of them did a couple of what do you call this like vocational kind of stuff. And I might have been like the first person in the family like drop out of high school. Realistically, I mean, I don't know if my mom, I don't know if she counts because she kind of dropped out in elementary. But that's a whole different like that's a health concern as much as it is some other stuff like some mental health before it's mental health. That's a deeper kind of conversation. But they all kind of went to school just to figure out like I just need a specific job and I need a specific trade, like a specific vocational kind of uh, income kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that's the way they view things. That's what they went through to realize they're like, man, this college stuff is cool, but like realistically, like I'm really good with carpentry and I like that. Like I got a cousin, she's really good at carpentry and like electrical work. You know what I mean? And it's like she never imagined that would be her passion, but she just found it and was like, this shit is my shit right now. Like I was like, yeah, there it is. So and it's a very necessary thing for to have in society, right? To have like electricians and carpentry kind of people. So that just became her thing. Another cousin, he's been doing electrician work for a long time, like electrician, HVAC, all that stuff. He's been doing it for a long time, and it's like again, it's a necessity. So he's always going to have a job. But then more importantly, like he just you go to school for all you do all these subjects just to find out I'm really nice with my hands. Like I've always been around this kind of stuff. So you know what I mean. So over time, and then more specifically, like just what I remembered from the past and then remembering my grandpa more so, I realized he's the type of person to make the ultimate sacrifice. So I started to reflect back at that time that we're moving things out of his house. I mean, excuse me, we're moving everything out of the house and especially the things in his room because he had so much stuff just in his room, just stockpiled. He just had all these gifts that he would put on the side and not use, just all these things. And sometimes he just forget about it or whatever. And when I felt kind of bad because looking back, I'm like, if I was old and I compiled a whole bunch of stuff that I thought was valuable that I think people can sell, you got this is why you got to teach your kids this stuff. We're asking him like, hey, we're just gonna throw away the unnecessary stuff, and we're gonna keep your necessary things. He's like, yeah, sure, do whatever. So we just started, pretty much like, if I were to do a quick math of all of his things, we probably only kept like 1/3 or 1/4 of his stuff, and then the rest was either thrown into donation or thrown into the trash because it was either something old or something that didn't matter anymore, or like an old magazine. Like it was things that were probably really collectible stuff, collector stuff, but we just didn't understand it because in that time period, like I said, the house that we grew up in from the year I was born up until that point, so from 93 to '06, that's like a 13-year span of just like everyone dealing with some form of grief, if not anger, if not frustration, if not whatever, that just compounded. And when it came time to move, it's hard to really value the valuables and the things that you've collected over time. So to watch my grandpa, who was like the oldest in the house, make this sacrifice, like again, as a 13-year-old, I didn't comprehend it. But what I'm saying is like, looking back now after all this time, I'm like, oh, that shit that he did, I'm willing to, I'm always very willing to be just like him and just like my dad, where it's like these people are constantly making the ultimate sacrifice. And I'm like, this is what mine looks like. You understand? So when I speak about gratitude, understand that it comes from that place, that understanding of family and the lineage and the family tree of the men in my life, um, that of comprise of my family tree. This is the heart of what it is. And these guys all died of like some form of, I ain't gonna say died, but like they're all suffer from forms of heart issues. A lot of my uncles died of heart issues. A lot of the men on my dad's side of the family died of heart issues, and a lot So I'm very, I think about that a lot, where it's just like, it's always some form of enlarged heart. You know what I mean? It's very synonymous with who they are within the family and the household space, where other people are a little more cerebral, or they'll use their brains or whatever. We're kind of just the heart of the family. So I'm big on that. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people don't care about their heart, and you can tell because on different branches of the family, if they're very over consumers of alcohol, tobacco or whatever. And I ain't no slouch on that myself. I used to drink a lot. Um, but like I said, I stopped when I turned 30. But my whole thing is like, you just see things like that. There's like these weird spiritual connections that you kind of make with people, and like, I'm not here to judge people's vices or things that whatever that they kind of struggle with or they possibly deal with. But I will say, like, it's something to account when I really think about that stuff. People who don't value their own heart, how can you expect them to value the heart of the family? You understand what I'm saying? So I just understand who I am and what I am now, just over time, because I'm a combination of all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You do all this research, you do all this looking outside of the immediate, household and family tree. You know what I mean? Just to research and learn about everyone else's sides of the family and study from them, and take some gems and learn from them, and you know what I mean? Because it's all worth it. It's all worth it to learn about your cousin's side of the family, your cousin's aunt and uncle that you're not related to, but that's their family, right? So you like learn about all this stuff, just to come back full circle and realize who you are at the core. And that's some back home shit. That's some at home shit. So we'll see, man. I might have to take this and flip it. You know what I'm saying? Taking the heart energy, because if it exists here, it's constantly going to be congested by the cholesterol of other toxic family members, if not the practices that we're so accustomed to. The bullshit that we're so accustomed to is very cholesterol like. It's very or overly cholesterol. I'm trying to say, like, it's overly congesting, and it's also overly like clotting. It's clotting things. You know what I'm saying? It's very these toxic practices that people don't want to break out of. These toxic habits that people are aware of, they can recognize, they can see it in other people, they can recognize it and see it outside of themselves in other societies. People will sit there, you know what I mean? I remember one time my cousin, she had the nerve to ask me, and she's kind of goofy. She's like a woman's woman, so she's kind of goofy. But you expect women to be this way. I'm not trying to be fucked up. I'm just being honest. Where like they'll say stuff like, "Oh my god, I watched this show that's really compelling and it's really whatever." You know what I'm saying? Where's the bird at? Ain't no bird here. Um, and she'll be like, "Yeah, it's called How to Make a Murderer or something," and it basically shows like a guy in a small town that constantly gets fucked with, and eventually he just snaps and becomes like a serial murderer or something crazy. And I'm telling her, I'm like, yo, if they're gonna cover him in the first season, they need to cover everybody of all the spectrums of. And I was, maybe I should have been more upfront with her, but I was like, they need to cover all of the spectrums of, like, okay, they need to find all the crazy black people that were doing crazy shit, all the crazy brown people that were doing shit, all the crazy Native American people that were doing shit because they went through some form of colonialism. Not no fucking white guy who went through white hate and then he became a school shooter minus the school. You know what I'm saying? Not to be funny, I'm just being honest. But then, like, realistically, it's like, why can't I be on this list too? I ain't caught no bodies. I ain't did nothing crazy. But what I'm saying is, why can't I be on this list of Yeah, it'd be crazy if my mic was off the whole time. I hope. Yeah, we're good. I'll be tripping. But they need to do one for me, because there's moments I feel the need to snap. Like I said, coming from the heart of the family, the heart of the you know what I'm saying, the tree branches and whatnot. Coming from that, just to, you know what I'm saying, come to places where I'm supposed to keep myself at bay and not crash out. You know what I mean? So why can't I be on that list? Because I haven't committed the act yet. And that's where the conversation should come from. Where it's like, let's be a little more proactive before the worst case scenario. And that's what I say, that's the heart of the family. That's what we represent. My household, my family tree. So a lot of times, like, my brother would do some dumb shit, and I'm like, I forget he's just all heart. And my dad too. Like, when I look back at his history, he was forced to be cerebral, but he's just really a very loving and heartful type person. You know what I'm saying? He also has a defibrillator now because of a bad heart health issues and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit, he brought everyone. Our household used to be the place that everyone, like all of our relatives and all of his coworkers would come by to come every Friday, if not every other Friday. You know what I'm saying? We were that household because my dad would just be like, "Yeah, come on through, man. Come party with us, man." And he made sure people say hi to his dad. He made sure people say hi to his kids, us, say hi to his I mean, he wasn't married to my mom, but they look at each other like husband and wife. So that's how them motherfuckers be talking. But yeah, man. So that's what it is, bro. That's what it is, man. That's how we living. The heart of the family, man. I think next time I'll probably keep that in my back pocket, and maybe I'll write that as a side note, so that way I can have what I'm saying, have it on hand for the next topic. Maybe I'll keep talking about that the rest of the day because it's a nice little thing to think about and talk about. Excuse me. Um, Actually, real quick, hold on. Let me write that down before I forget. Yeah. Yep, we back at it. We back at it. Yeah, man, there it is. I'm probably gonna get to walking a little bit slowly to my destination. So go ahead and walk with me, bear with me. But you know, so I don't know, man. Like when I think about the grief of my household, because I know how I feel personally. My mom died like was that two? What year was that, bro? No, it was like 3 years ago. My mom died 3 years ago, so I understand the grief that I felt and the fact that I don't want to feel sad. Instead of feeling sad, I'd rather just fuck somebody up. So you know what I mean? That's why I say I put a face to my problems sometimes. Where I'm like, if people ain't getting their shit right or people ain't doing whatever, I'm gonna have to just fuck them up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to just whoop their ass because I'd rather not deal with the feeling of depression. I couldn't be honest with myself enough about it. But everyone grieves differently. I hear that a lot. It feels like I'm supposed to have like a moment where I just cry my whole, all the all the liquid I got or whatever. That sounds kind of weird, but all the liquid I have, whatever, just cry it out. I feel like I'm supposed to let all this tears out, but for whatever reason, it's just not coming out. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm trying to cross the street, but yeah, it feels like I'm waiting for this time period for me to just like, oh, it's time to really let loose and release all of these tears. But for whatever reason, it just hasn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? There was one moment in time where I was watching the DeMar Hamlin situation unravel on the football field. I just flipping channels, turned it on. I saw that dude on the ground. I saw all of his teammates' concern and the fact that he didn't get up and his body was kind of lifeless and limb or limber. What the fuck? I don't know the word limp or whatever. I don't. That sounds kind of weird. Pause. Um, but yeah, and just watching these are football people, man. Watching football people, anyone that's like on some contact sport, combat sport kind of thing, crying like that. I'm like, damn, what the fuck happened? And then watching that shit had me crying tears. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here trying to eat chicken strips, and then all these tears are coming out, and that's like 6, 7 months after that whole situation. But I tell this story to people a lot, and the only people that ever seem to kind of care about that was a fucking therapist. That was it. So I'm gonna be where I need to be. Does that make sense? I've talked about this with family. I've talked about this with friends that wanted to know, and then it's almost like they use those weird emotions against me. So this it's moments like that that prevent men from opening up a lot more. But I recognize that shit, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be a hurt little bitch about it. I understand that these people are just fucked up sometimes in the mental, and then they don't know how to deal with men's. I mean, because they're not meant. A lot of people aren't meant to be your personal caretaker or lover, so they're not gonna care for you the way you'd want them to. Also, every woman isn't your mom. You gotta be very mindful of that. That's another like psychological thing that people forget about. It's like, especially as like young men or just men in general, not every woman is gonna treat you the loving way your mom would. So again, losing her and then the whole whatever of coming from that, it's like you realize how kind of cold hearted a lot of women are. But realistically, like they're not your moms. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that expect them to be you can't expect them to love you the way your mom would, and at the same time you can't expect um what's I gonna say? You can't expect her to understand that. Whatever woman that is in your life, whether it's a friend or a family member, you got to be very mindful of that shit. But that's what I said. I'm gonna be where I need to be. You know what I mean? You don't see me where I need to be at. Unfortunately, and if that's not around so-called loved ones, I just understand the preservation of the heart is more important. So and with that being said, good luck to my brother, man. I say that at times, man, where I'm like, good luck to him because he's gonna put himself out there amongst people that he probably can't even comprehend that they can give a fuck about him sometimes, and they don't even know how to talk to him and tell him the truth. It's fucked up that that's my responsibility, but that's the whole brothers keeper conversation or however the fuck it goes. But we'll see how that go, man. So that's going to unravel the way it needs to unravel. Like I said, bro, I said this in the beginning. What I say, work starts early and the work ends late. It just don't stop though, right? Nah, that ain't true. Everybody got to get some rest. Everybody got to rest up, man. Chill the fuck out, etc. Yeah, man. Speaking of rest, we gonna hop off right here. I'm gonna get on get situated, use the library, get on this Monster Hunter, etc. Whoop wop. Yeah, dude. All right, we out here, man. Yeah, I appreciate the one like. I appreciate everything. Love y'all and I appreciate y'all, man. Peace.